Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is November 22nd, 2023, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, markets really tapering off, not in any particular direction. But first, just note that tomorrow is Thanksgiving holiday in the United States. So the U.S. markets will be closed, but they will reopen on Friday. However, that means, though, that the Forex markets are still trading and the future markets are still trading tomorrow. Now, looking at today's major economic events, so we do have at 5 p.m. South African time out of the United States, a revised UoM Consumer Sentiment number coming out. Now, looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, the Japanese yen breaks its strengthening trend and breaks lower versus the US dollar. And as we look at the indices, both the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ predominantly remain unchanged. And when looking at the commodities, gold and oil push even higher. Now, when we looked at stocks, they were really mixed all over the board. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin remains unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First, with the Japanese yen, we could see this downwards momentum has finally stopped. So we are at a bottom, at least for now. And that was to be anticipated, okay? This was previous support. As you can see here, several times we hit it. And so this was a natural place for us to bounce back from. The question is whether we're going to go from here and which way we're going to go from here. And that's something to still anticipate. Now, looking at the rest of the Forex symbols, really unchanged. I'm just going to just cover the Euro USD. It held on to those gains and didn't change its momentum. So right now it's just stalling, really not sure where to make it. It might be a potential retracement here. Just keep an eye on it. Okay, nothing really jumping out when it comes to the major pairs. Now looking at the commodities. First, looking at gold, pushing above 2,000. Now that is important because 2,000 is a psychological number and we do want to know that it perhaps might break it even higher. Now that's looking at a 4-hour chart. If we look at a weekly chart, that's back to its highs. Okay, now there is significant resistance levels at these areas, so just be aware that we might not break above this area. Okay, this will be the 4th time that we've actually tried to push higher. Now looking at crude oil, also did bounce finally to $77 a barrel. We see a comeback there. Now when we looked at the U.S. markets, unchanged. Okay, the Dow Jones just hanging out here. We're looking at a daily chart. You can see a very tight range. If we look at the NASDAQ, also a very tight range. Now we are going into the holiday weekend, which is tomorrow. Markets will be closed tomorrow, but the markets do reopen on Friday. But mostly speaking, most U.S. places are going to be, businesses are going to be closed, except for retailers. It is Black Friday, and that is that day of the year. Now that's followed with Cyber Monday on next Monday, which is one of the busiest cyber holiday buying season of the year. So just do want to know about it. Now, looking at the stocks, it's really very mixed. Okay, if we looked at Microsoft, held on to some of its gains. Okay, if we look at it weekly, but did, kind of showing some resistance of pushing higher. Okay, if we look at Tesla, it did break out higher. Okay, it did gain back some real estate, $240 a share, as that has come back to its lows of 195. That's a big comeback for Tesla. Now that's about 50% of its highs. So this is potentially an area where it might stall, okay, as that might still turn around. Now looking at Intel, it just took some of its money off the table, okay, just a little bit of a retracement there yesterday, but holding on above that 43.40-ish level, which is a really important level for Intel. Now lastly, let's take a look at cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin remains unchanged. Where is it? Having a hard time finding it here. Where is it? There we go. 36,445. Retraced a little bit. It's consolidating at this area. Okay, not pushing higher, not retracing, and really just sticking in this area. So with that said, just be aware of it. Just know your levels, know what your parameters are, know your stop losses. They're preset. Now, lastly, I do want to just cover NVIDIA. NVIDIA did beat its revenue expectations. However, in after-hours trading, it was down. So we might see some activity today as how traders are actually responding to this news coming out yesterday with its quarterly earning report. So that's really an important play. But NVIDIA might still be a play today. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.